Cup. The championship match of the 2023 Major League Soccer season is an exhilarating matchup. The Eastern Conference champions hosting their third MLS Cup in 9 years, the Columbus Crew, against the Western Conference winners and defending MLS Cup champs, LAFC. Good afternoon from Lower.com Field alongside Taylor Twellman. I'm Jake Sivan. Katie Witham is down on the pitch. This is the culmination of a transformative year in Major League Soccer, and what a matchup it is. The stars and the glamour of LAFC against the aggressive and invigorating Columbus Crew. Taylor, it is an appropriate way to finish one of the most important years in league history.
And especially when you couple that in the first year of a 10-year record-breaking deal with Apple TV. So to the global viewers at home, welcome. Today you've got the MLS original franchise and the Columbus Crew against LAFC, who has pushed Major League Soccer to new heights over the last 6 years. Put your seatbelts on, this is going to be a ride.
Here are the starting 11s for the 2023 MLS Cup. We'll begin with the home team, the Columbus Crew. Wilfried Nancy beginning a 4th straight match with this 11.
And every single player good with the ball at the feet. Emerson and Moreira will step into the midfield in possession. Farsi over Gresso again because of his ability to defend in transition. I think Morris and Nagbe set the tone for the team with and without the ball, pushing the line of confrontation further up the field so Matan and Rossi can play in the pockets, supporting Cucho Hernandez going forward. But I want to show you where Columbus is misunderstood. Yes, they dominate possession, but they also are very direct how they defend. This is an attacking throw-in situation where Orlando's trying to come out of their defensive third. They defend it with numbers forward. They have scored more goals than anyone in Major League Soccer in 3 to 5 passing sequences. What does that mean? It means it's not the possession the way Barcelona played years ago, where it was where it was death by 1,000 passes. They will surround you. They will swarm you, especially when they lose possession. Keep an eye here on where Morris is and Cucho Hernandez. So LAFC, when they lose the ball, they've got to be very good immediately out of that pressure. If they're not, Columbus will turn you over, and in the blink of an eye, you're picking the ball out of the back of your net. Columbus scored 75 goals this year. That's more than anyone in Major League Soccer.
For the reigning champs, LAFC, Steve Cherundolo makes no changes for a 3rd straight match. 8 of these 11 starters also began last year's MLS Cup.
And that experience is led by Giorgio Chiellini, who will be playing in his 18th Cup final at 39 years of age. Palacio and Hollingshead need to be very disciplined in their defensive posture because Columbus will overload wide areas. Acosta, Tillman, Sanchez, they cannot lose their shape and allow Columbus to play between the lines. But Carlos Vela is the X factor. He has not scored in his last 15 games. Does he have one today? Steve Cherundolo believes so because of what he saw versus the Houston Dynamo. The line of confrontation is key today. Does LAFC want to pressure Columbus and put him in spots like these? The reason why Carlos Vela is the X factor, because if they do win possession, he's going to be in a great spot to expose Camacho and the back line of the Columbus Crew because he floats very well. He's playing in a false 9. But the real part to where LAFC believe they have an upper hand on Columbus today is set pieces. And how often in big games do they become the difference? LAFC has scored more goals than anyone in Major League Soccer off of corners, and oftentimes it's the unsung hero. Ryan Hollingshead has 3 goals in the MLS playoffs. In those spots, Columbus is acceptable in those situations.
These are the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer for the Columbus Crew. The man known most prominently by his nickname Cucho, Juan Hernandez.
Nancy took over. He said to Cucho, you got to play a full 90 minutes. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to start you in wide areas. He answered that challenge, and then some. 23 goals, 15 assists in all competitions. He's a transition killer. He's a box extraordinaire. He can beat you off the dribble anywhere in the field. Wilfried Nancy just hopes he's the X factor today because the MLS Golden Boot winner is on the other side, and Denis Bouanga. 37 goals, 13 assists, one off the all-time record in a calendar year, which is what Carlos Vela did in 2019. Electrifying pace, but the most important part to Bouanga, 60% of his goals come in the second half. Nightmare to defend for 90 minutes. Those were the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer.
It's a spectacle at Lower.com Field. We'll be back from Columbus as we get closer to kickoff of the 2023 MLS Cup.
Every family has one. You know the one who pushes the limits.
Play. Together, let's drive.
If working hard is essential to get where you want to be, you need something that gets you going and keeps you going on the path to your true potential. You need a spotter, a running mate, a loyal companion. You need Celsius. Every drop is essential. Celsius, essential energy.
Ilie can win MLS Cup with this kick.
Game on the line. How do I make the smart choice? I remember what's worked and what hasn't. This goalie knows exactly where I'm going to shoot. He's smart, but hesitant. I'm not, or I'm right, all in. So let it fly.
Yes! What a smart choice by Ilie!
Continental, the smart choice in tires.
A chance of rain won't keep these fans away as the Columbus Crew gets set to host LAFC in this year's MLS Cup Final. Welcome back. I'm Katie Witham. 10 founding teams created this league, the first to ever be awarded a franchise, the Columbus Crew. As you can see, the culture here is alive and well, and in the heart of it all are these guys. The Nordecke is the second largest supporter section in Major League Soccer. Over 3,300 passionate fans make up this group, and some would say they have been through it all, they've seen it all, and there is no question that the importance that they've put on keeping this club right here with the passion, the spotlight, turned into something truly special. In fact, Crew President and General Manager Tim Bezbatchenko said 2020 felt like the beginning of a new era, and winning that MLS Cup was a statement. But he said this year, 2023, this is the new vision manifested, and to be here hosting Cup again in a brand new stadium with a packed crowd, no matter the result, they've already won. Stick around here, inching closer to kickoff. Jake Ziv and Taylor Twellman will be back.
Goals aren't just planned for the field, they're planned for life. No more with RBC Wealth Management.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron.
Before I met your mom, I was a covert assassin. I escaped that life, and now they found us.
What the? Who are you? James Bond? All right, stop.
I'm still the man you married.
You weren't in a band or vegan, Dan. You were an assassin for hire. And now you're driving a minivan?
I love that minivan.
The Family Plan. Streaming soon on Apple TV+. Rated PG-13.
There are trucks, then there's the truck. GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck.
This
This is the head-to-head presented by GMC. We are professional grade. The Columbus Crew are the original MLS club, the first team announced ahead of Major League Soccer's inaugural season in 1996. This is Columbus's fourth time in MLS Cup. They are trying to win their third. They were champions in 2008 and 2020. LAFC took the league by storm as an expansion team in 2018, setting a standard for immediate success in this era of Major League Soccer. LAFC made and won its first MLS Cup last season, defeating Philadelphia in penalty kicks and an incredibly dramatic 3-3 draw through extra time. The pomp and circumstance of a final. The 2023 MLS Cup. The defending champs LAFC trying to become the first team in over a decade to repeat. Columbus trying to win a second trophy at home in 4 years. This time in a sold-out lower.com field. There were only 1,500 fans allowed in historic Crew Stadium in 2020 when the Crew defeated Seattle 3-0 to win their most recent MLS Cup. This building, just about 2.5 years old, sold out over 20,000 today. Getting ready to welcome out the Philip F. Anschutz Trophy will be awarded today to either the Columbus Crew or LAFC. On the right, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Columbus's own Buster Douglas. On the left, actor and LAFC supporter Colin Hanks. Taylor, Buster Douglas, famous for being maybe the biggest underdog in history. Who's the underdog tonight? It's not the home team, Columbus Crew.
Columbus may be the underdog as a city, but on the field, opening whistle, anywhere you look, Columbus Crew on the field is the favorite tonight. How good was Buster Douglas?
Defeated Mike Tyson in one of the greatest shocks in sports history. He knows something about winning a championship.
It was Leicester City winning the Premier League that outdid the odds of Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson.
A more even fight today between LAFC and Columbus. Columbus gets to be home for this one, Taylor. They get to walk out in front of mostly their supporters, though there are plenty of LAFC fans in this building that have made the trip from the West Coast. Over 1,000 in the building. The LAFC ownership group chartered 2 full planes of LAFC staff, family, to come to this match. Armando Villarreal will be the referee today. His second MLS Cup in charge. Also led the way at the 2021 MLS Cup in Portland, won by New York City FC in penalties. The captains Carlos Vela and Darlington Nagbe leading the procession before the 2023 MLS Cup. Serenaded by the Nordeca at lower.com field.
Please remain standing as Black and Gold staple and Ohio Platinum artist Welshly Arms performs the national anthem of the United States. They are accompanied by devoted Crew fan and deaf studies teacher at the Ohio School for the Deaf, Chris Coons.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Black and gold reads the tifo from the Nordea Cup, the first club ever announced in Major League Soccer. Taylor playing at home. An away team has not won an MLS Cup outright since 2015. A couple teams have won in penalties on the road. How much of an advantage for the Columbus Crew and Cucho Hernandez is playing in Lower.com field today?
Well, they want it to be an advantage. But as we said over the lineups, there's 8 players on LAFC. They played in the MLS Cup final last season. Experience is on LAFC's side. And so the first 15, 20 minutes, the 12th man, so to speak, is going to be electric here at Lower.com field. Cucho Hernandez, Diego Rossi, Darlington Nagbe and company, they want the crowd to drive them in their style, on the front foot, dominating possession, but make life uncomfortable for Carlos Vela and LAFC in this building.
Darlington Nagbe looking for his 4th MLS Cup title. Didn't play in 2020, came down with COVID 2 days before that game. Won it in 2018 with Atlanta, won it in 2015 in this city with Portland. How important is he for Columbus tonight?
Well, he sets the tempo by which everything Wilfred Nancy wants to do with his team, both with and without the ball. One of the best midfielders when it's all said and done in league history. I just leave myself thinking, what if Darlington Nagbe never gave up on that U.S. men's national team career? Because him with Yunus Musa, Weston McKennie, Greg Berhalter's cooking with gas, but Wilfred Nancy will tell you, the most important player for his team and his style is number 6, Darlington Nagbe.
An experienced player in these games, getting ready to start his 3rd MLS Cup. Getting ready to start a 2nd straight MLS Cup. LAFC goalkeeper Maxime Crépeau live on the pitch right now with Arcady with him.
Maxime, you have a chance to go back to back. What would it mean for this club to do that, and how do you do it today?
That's why we trade for. That's why we show up every single day of 2 years now. We have to hit them early, deep, and then defensively be solid. That's it.
Appreciate the time. Good luck.
Improbable, Taylor, that Maxime Crépeau is even starting this match. He broke his leg in last year's MLS Cup. Maybe also improbable that his counterpart, 22-year-old Patrick Schulte, is starting this match. He was starting a cup final last year for Columbus Crew 2, the MLS Next Pro Cup. Which goalkeeper is more important for their team tonight?
Oh, that's a really good one, because I actually don't think they're mutually exclusive. I'd argue they're both as important. Schulte maybe a little bit more with his feet, but Columbus Crew are not in this moment if the St. Louis product did not make those key saves against Orlando City, against FC Cincinnati. But Maxime Crépeau, missing the World Cup with Canada, motivating himself time and time again to come back from the broken leg. From this moment, over 300 minutes, they have been scoreless against them because of that man in goal. Those 2 saves against the Seattle Sounders on the road, arguably 2 of the best saves you'll ever see in MLS Cup playoff history. I think both goalkeepers got to be massive tonight.
The last time a team got a ball past him, the 40th minute of match 1 in round 1, the Vancouver Whitecaps. Over 3.5 full matches without a goal against for LAFC, entering the 2023 MLS Cup. We are underway in Columbus, Ohio. The 2023 2023 MLS Cup, the Eastern Conference champion Columbus Crew hosting the Western Conference champs and the reigning MLS Cup champs, LAFC. LAFC in the black and gold, the primary color being black. Columbus also call themselves the black and gold. Yellow on top. For the 2023 MLS Cup, an early foul. Jesus Murillo taking it for LAFC. Taylor, this is a matchup of contrasting styles. And speaking of heavyweight fights and Buster Douglas, styles make fights. What do these two styles make for MLS Cup?
Well, ultimately, that's going to be the determining factor. I think the dogmatic approach of Wilfried Nancy versus the pragmatic thinking of Steve Cherundolo is going to be vital. Keep in mind, Columbus, they bold, they're brash, and it's beautiful at times to watch, but they will leave themselves exposed in wide channels. That's exactly where Steve Cherundolo and LAFC think they can hurt Columbus in transition.
Matan did well to get away from Ilie. Kellen Acosta recovers for LAFC. Bouanga flicking it on towards Vela, and Camacho is there for the Crew. Columbus, the team with the most possession in Major League Soccer in the regular season, over 57%. They love the ball, they want the ball, they will have the ball in this 2023 MLS Cup.
But the issue today is when they have the ball, their rest defense, are they in good spots? Moreira and Amundsen, they're going to have their hands full against Carlos Vela and Denis Bouanga.
Columbus's manager, Wilfried Nancy. The Crew hired Wilfried Nancy away from Montreal in the offseason. It worked out spectacularly for the Crew. Wilfried Nancy said, "I felt useless this week. The players, they know everything. They have bought into his style, to his way, and they are here in MLS Cup." And Steve Cherundolo, LAFC's second-year manager, led them to an MLS Cup victory a year ago, trying to become the second manager in league history to win back-to-back titles in his first 2 full seasons with the club. He told us he already considers this season a success. He's not going to judge it off of one game. But Taylor, LAFC came into this season with a chance at winning 6 trophies, and they wanted to go for all 6 of them. 0 for 5 this, their final chance. Denis Bouanga battling with Steven Moreira, who's able to win it and get it to Mo Farsi. Do you agree with Steve Cherundolo, Taylor? Is this season already a success?
I think it is, because they've played more games than anyone in Major League Soccer history, and they've had some ups and downs, and a few of those downs, many people like myself felt like the season was over for them. So to regroup, to rethink how they approach games, defend first, look for the counter, it has been a success. But ask Steve Cherundolo in this moment, 4 minutes in, whether or not he cares about the whole season. You can miss me with the one game. Biggest game of the year here for both teams. And what a storyline today. Diego Rossi, having won the Golden Boot for LAFC in 2020, emotionally going up against Diego Palacios in the back line of LAFC. I think Diego Rossi's got to get into the game very quickly, forget about the occasion, and remember that it is just the game, because when he's in those pockets of space and Cucho can float primarily down this left side, he's an absolute nightmare to defend.
Diego Rossi scored the first goal in LAFC's history. 3.5 seasons, 48 goals, 21 assists. Sold to Fenerbahce in 2021, back this summer to MLS and the Columbus Crew. The goal that sent the Eastern Conference final to extra time in Cincinnati last week. This is Diego Rossi. Chiellini wins the header. Farsi goes all the way back, and over Amundsen, Schulte for Columbus. Christian Oliveira, a summer signing for LAFC, Uruguayan international, signed in August. Since then, made his Uruguay senior debut, 3 caps, including starting a World Cup qualifier last month. Matan, Morris takes it away. Cucho through for Yeboah. Maria will get there first for LAFC.
Well, it's the immediate reaction from the Columbus Crew, particularly through the center midfielder, Aiden Morris and Darlington Nagbe. Morris does that so well, becoming the real tempo setter next to Darlington Nagbe, especially when Columbus lose possession.
Aiden Morris told us it's easy to grow when you have a distinctive style of play and a good identity. He said Wilfried Nancy has put him into uncomfortable spots this year, but each time he's in an uncomfortable spot, the next game, he can do it.
Yeah, but it was during August where the turning point for the season came for Columbus, and a lot of it was Aiden Morris.
Cucho leaves for Diego Rossi. First shot of MLS Cup is blocked by Giorgio Chiellini. It's the first corner kick of the match for the Columbus Crew.
The delivery for attacking set pieces is so vital for Columbus today, particularly on attacking corners, because LAFC believe with Denis Bouanga and Christian Oliveira, they've actually got an opportunity to counter off the moment here.
Rossi will serve. Flicked on to Morris. Has to go back to Farsi. Yeboah to Amundsen, into Nagbe. Moreira, Rossi to Farsi. Shout for a handball from Rossi, not cleared by LAFC. Cucho cuts inside, poked away by Palacios. Immediately won back by the Crew. Yeboah gets it back to Morris. Alexandre Matan leaves for Morris. Try to get it into Cucho. Nagbe.
All 10 field players for the Columbus Crew are 45 yards from Maxime Crepeau.
They are as aggressive as any team in this league. Yeboah into Morris. He goes down. Armando Villarreal tells him to get up. These are the moments LAFC can be dangerous. Vela over to Palacios. Bouanga will come back to get it. Palacios leaves for Bouanga. Over Vela. Amundsen knocks it forward. Wonderful touch from Morris. Over two defenders to Matan.
Yeah, but look at where Matan, Diego Rossi are in time. They're so close to both Nagbe and Morris, they can play out of trouble.
Off the chest from Cucho, in towards Rossi. What an intervention from the 39-year-old Giorgio Chiellini.
This is just fantastic defending. But again, it doesn't happen if Morris and Matan don't keep possession. But this is where Cucho Hernandez really tests your resolve as a defender. He'll float in the channels, he'll play off your shoulder. How many 39-year-olds in the world can make a clearance like that? Giorgio Chiellini coming up big with that ball in from Cucho Hernandez.
He is the oldest non-goalkeeper to play in an MLS Cup. Only Pat Onstead of the Houston Dynamo at 40 years old, an older player in an MLS Cup. There's a lot of room for Matan. Murillo over to defend. Matan cutting inside. Trying to get it to Cucho. Palacios was there.
But look at how quickly Columbus will swarm you. It is so important for Steve Cherundolo and LAFC that when you win possession, you play out of it or you keep possession. That is fantastic work from Kellen Acosta. They are swarming LAFC. in the attacking third.
Does LAFC just need to go quicker when they get the ball?
I think at times you can play direct to relieve that pressure, but you've got to have an option. And if Carlos Vela is going to float as a false nine and not be an option with Bouanga and Oliveira short, you've got to have the option to play direct if you're under pressure, the way Columbus has put LAFC under pressure.
Tillman crashes into Yeboah off of Columbus. It's a throw for LAFC.
It was a close challenge on Murillo. This is where Aiden Morris has had a career year, minutes, games played, but goals and assists, pushing the tempo through the middle. I think a good no call from the referee, but Aiden Morris really asking questions of Murillo early on.
Talked about the oldest player in MLS Cup history, Giorgio Chiellini. Aiden Morris is the youngest in 2020. 19 years, 27 days old when he started in that final because Darlington Nagbe missed it with COVID. Camacho called for the foul in midfield. LAFC go quick. Tillman over to Oliveira.
It was during that attacking throw-in, Steve Cherundolo had a conversation and tried to relay a message to Denis Bouanga. And he said to Bouanga, you can float and rotate with Carlos Vela at times. Don't get caught out wide left. If Carlos Vela wants to float, come inside. But someone from LAFC need to occupy the space of Camacho. He doesn't want a man-to-man defend. He wants to play as an old-fashioned sweeper, cover space. Bouanga and Vela need to be on point with their movement off the ball.
Broken up by LAFC. Nagbe loses it in a rare moment for him. Now Bouanga. Big ball towards Vela. What a touch from Carlos Vela. Leaves it for Oliveira. Tillman. Broken up by Yeboah. Now Columbus can counter. Given away. Just played safe by Kellen Acosta. Let's go down to the pitch, Katie, with him, with what she's hearing from the Columbus bench.
Wilfred Nancy really focused on the tempo. His guys reading the moment and reading the spaces on the field, motioning at times for his club to settle down, slow it down, then to go when it's the right moment. But really happy with how much space they're taking up and how high of a defensive line they're holding in LAFC's half.
Wilfred Nancy told us that was part of the progression for Columbus this season, was knowing when to slow it down. Direct to Cucho in this moment. Now back to Matan. Cucho off of Villiers. Cucho again. Nifty from Cucho. Nagbe. Matan finds Nagbe. One touch to Yeboah. Lost it to Murillo. Amundsen wins it back for Columbus.
If you've watched the first 15 minutes, you'd feel like LAFC started the game with a man down.
It's not a big surprise, is it, that Columbus has had the ball so much?
No, but with the likes of Matan, Morris, Nagbe, players that are comfortable playing in pockets, players that can find space, break you down in 1v1 situations, and be dynamic, you're asking a lot of this back line, particularly with the 39-year-old Chiellini, to chase the entire game. Listen, they beat Houston Dynamo with the fewest passes and the lowest amount of possession in franchise history. This is a completely different juggernaut and chance to defend. I just think at some point, LAFC is going to want to have a little bit more of the ball.
Chiellini, but right to Moreira. Into Cucho. Cucho tried to clip it to Moreira. Off Villiers. Rossi. Service. Moreira's header is wide.
They're bold, they're brash, and they're beautiful to the neutral viewer around the world. Columbus puts on a show every single time. And part of that bold and brashness is having outside backs playing as center backs. Moreira's naturally a right back. He's playing as a right center back, similar to Kyle Walker in the way he did in his transformation with the England national team. Malde Amundsen doing so on the left.
LAFC has just not been able to get going in those few moments today when it's looked like they've had a chance to. Again, it's Columbus winning the ball back and keeping the ball. Rossi.
Well, it's ironic, isn't it? Because LAFC came into the league playing the way Columbus Crew are today. Bob Bradley came into this league with LAFC, Carlos Vela, Diego Rossi. They were on the front foot. They put you under pressure. And it's almost as if LAFC is looking in the mirror from years ago saying we've had to transform ourselves, mainly because Chiellini's 39, Boanga's better in transition. I just think it's ironic today that LAFC is watching themselves from 2018 through 2020. And a big part of that success early on for LAFC in franchise history is wearing number 10 for Columbus today. Diego Rossi was fantastic the moment he set foot in Major League Soccer, but he's also really grown in to what Wilfred Nancy, Tim Bezbatchenko, and the Columbus Crew want from their man.
They made a big decision in the summer, the Columbus Crew did, to sell their franchise star and Lucas Elarayan and buy from Fenerbahce Diego Rossi to replace him. Why is Diego Rossi a better fit for this Columbus Crew team than Lucas Elarayan?
Because Diego Rossi with Cucho Hernandez is more lethal. Wilfred Nancy doesn't want players that are limited to one role. Lucas Elarayan, one of the best players this league's ever seen, but he's a 10. An old-fashioned 10, a playmaker. Diego Rossi can play as a winger, can play as a second forward, at times can play as a false 9. He wants players that can play multiple roles, multiple positions, and it played into the hands of Cucho Hernandez.
Diego Rossi has played 15 matches for Columbus, 5 goals, 6 assists. Cucho, 16 goals, 11 assists in the regular season. Both players that can score, that can provide. Just as Wilfred Nancy likes them. Amundsen into Matan. Tillman, Oliveira. Hollingshead is forward, leaves for Oliveira. A really heavy touch will allow Camacho to sweep it away. Palacios. Boanga. Trying to get around Farsi, who recovers well and is fouled by Denis Boanga.
This is fantastic work for Christian Oliveira, but if you're going to play as a false 9 and Carlos Vela, Vela's got to be an option here. The moment you see Oliveira take this touch, you've got to get on a sprint 5 yards so then you can play off of Oliveira or maybe switch the point of attack and play into Denis Boanga.
What a career Carlos Vela has had for LAFC. I spoke to him a couple days ago. He spoke so proudly of his time at LAFC. He said, I feel like I've built something here. If you sign for a team like Real Madrid or Barcelona, you're joining that story. But he helped create this LAFC story. He has been the constant for them since 2018. An MLS MVP in 2019, the best individual season the league has ever seen that year. A different player now, but still important for LAFC. Rossi, read well by Giorgio Chiellini. Morris stepping up. His ball to get it over to Yeboah. Yeboah's cross off Hollingshead, another corner for Columbus.
Jesus Maria's complaining that he was fouled by Aiden Morris as Aiden Morris tried to slide in and play that ball wide. The referee allowing play to continue. At some point for LAFC, Ilie Sanchez has to separate from Murillo and Chiellini. The first 21 minutes, he hasn't moved 5 yards from Giorgio Chiellini wherever he goes.
Maxime Crépeau. And LAFC defending another corner. Short to Matan. Wasted by Columbus. So when you say Ilie needs to separate, what advantages would that give LAFC?
Well, it just allows Tillman and Acosta to be more compact. They're playing between them. Nagbe is turning around in the middle of the midfield with no pressure on him whatsoever because Tillman and Acosta are worried about Matan and Rossi and Morris. If Ilie Sanchez is 5 to 6 yards closer to those two, it makes it more difficult to play between the lines.
Bouanga, a touch and go. Moreira defends that really well. Bouanga might still get on it. Camacho helps him out. Sends it out for a throw. Both players thinking they were fouled.
Oh, and it's going to be a track meet all game long. Steven Moreira knows it. Wilfred Nancy tweaking it just a little bit, telling Steven Moreira, don't be as expansive and exuberant going forward. Keep in mind that the Golden Boot winner is on your side, maybe being a little smarter with his positioning. 23 minutes in, it's been good so far.
They haven't been able to get Bouanga out of the space.
But then again, the Seattle Sounders stopped Denis Bouanga, and yet, in the blink of an eye, it was 1-0.
It only takes one chance. Yeboah for Columbus. Matan around Murillo. And then Tillman. Cucho is going to try it. Cucho! And wide.
The best center forwards in the world know how to find space. Watch the center backs of LAFC just looking around. Murillo's chasing Matan. Chiellini feels like Diego Rossi's the issue. But this is why the fluidity of Columbus grew going forward. That's why Diego Rossi is on Columbus and not Lucas Zelarayan, because it allows Cucho Hernandez to find the game where he needs to.
He is not shy. Took 12 shots against Cincinnati in the Eastern Conference Final. Took 11 against Orlando in the semifinal.
Find me a number 9 that's not shy.
Certainly wasn't you.
He ain't scoring goals.
The most shots in the league by far this year, Cucho Hernandez. Second most taken by Denis Bouanga of LAFC. He's had a really good postseason. 4 goals in 5 matches for the crew. Tied with Bouanga for the most of any player in these MLS Cup playoffs. Yeboah. Matan with time. Now Nagbe. Moreira is forward. Moreira sends it into the Nordeca behind Maxime Crépeau's goal.
Well, I've been in this position since Darlington Nagbe set foot in Major League Soccer, and I asked Wilfred Nancy, are there times you want him to be selfish? And there was a smile from ear to ear saying, absolutely. Because every single time he's selfish, there's a worldly goal to happen. I think there's a great example. Instead of playing that ball to Steven Moreira, have a hit from 25 yards out.
What a player Darlington Nagbe is. Not the goal scorer that many thought he would become when he was the number 2 overall pick in 2011 for the Portland Timbers. Has scored just 38 goals in his now long MLS career, his 13th season. He is the ultimate connector, the ultimate safety valve at times. Rarely will he lose the ball, and his teammates, both present and former, praise him unconditionally. Palacios through to Vela. Here's a chance for LAFC. Vela's shot was blocked by Morera. Cleared by Columbus, out for a throw. The first glimpse of the match for LAFC. Oliveira. Morris does well to hold him off and allow Amundsen to get it to Matan. Now here come the crew in transition. Wonderful ball to Rossi, leaves for Nagbe. Now Farsi. Tried to force it to Cucho. Costa was there. Farsi with Palacios on his back. Play continues. Rossi! Into the outside of the side netting.
Well, when Cucho's given Farsi a little bit of an earful, the difference between Farsi and Gressel is in the final third. Gressel's going to be better with the final ball, but Farsi's going to be more dynamic in counter-pressing moments. He's going to put pressure on you to turn it over. That's exactly what he does here, and the ball is found to the feet of Diego Rossi. Good opportunity near post for the Columbus Crew.
Let's go down to the pitch, Katie, with him, with what the talk is on the LAFC bench.
Ante Razov, LAFC assistant, told me that they feel like this game's unfolding exactly as they thought it would for an MLS Cup final. He said we're sitting way deeper than we want to or that we feel comfortable. Their main focus right now is they've got to do a better job of getting pressure on the ball.
Herrera coming forward for Columbus. Baton, Yeboah gets around Hollingshead. Murillo there and is very clever to see it out for a goal kick. What do you make of the words from Ante Razov, Taylor?
It's exactly what I was talking about with Ilie Sanchez, because now it allows Yeboah to have freedom to run at Hollingshead and to have momentum. The space when Columbus Crew players are receiving the ball at their feet, it's 5 or 6 yards before LAFC get there. That starts from the tempo setter of Ilie Sanchez. Look at the difference from Nagbe and Morris for Columbus versus Sanchez, Tillman, and Acosta of LAFC. It is night and day right now, and Columbus is winning the midfield.
Nagbe the header down to Cucho. Again, it's Columbus and Farsi with so much space. Farsi behind Palacios. Farsi, Matan in the middle. Murillo intervenes. Another corner for Columbus, who feel like they're getting closer.
Yeah, but it's all about spacing and coming from different angles. Cucho Hernandez comes inside. Ball's played wide because Diego Rossi is pulled off. So Palacios is worried about naturally Diego Rossi in front of him, but Farsi's in behind. Big time tackle from Jesus Murillo.
Rossi, Vela there at the near post. Amundsen, Matan on his right, blocked by Chiellini. Vela just dumps it forward. All this possession from Columbus, this pressure from Columbus. They haven't forced a save, though, out of Maxime Crépeau yet. How do they turn 72% of possession into threatening Maxime Crépeau?
Yeah, but pressure makes diamonds, my man. So you keep the pressure on and you force Ilie Sanchez, who is chasing shadows in the moment, for LAFC through the middle.
Yeboah into a dangerous spot. Rossi, they want a handball. It's given! Penalty for the Crew!
close. Does the ball hit the chest of Palacios, then the hand? Oh boy, that is extremely close. Because the first touch from Rossi, that actually looks like right there. There's a first touch off the right chest of Diego Palacios, then the right hand. This is the type of moment why VAR is needed, because immediately you thought, nope, that hit the right arm of Diego Palacios. But I think the first look we gave you on the slow-mo, I actually think it hits the right chest bone of Diego Palacios, then the right hand.
It did look like it hit the chest or the shoulder first. The video assistant referee today is Kevin Stott. He is checking this play. The check is complete is the word. It's a penalty for Columbus in the 32nd minute in front of their supporters.
That is a big-time decision. VAR determining that it wasn't clear and obvious. The game's even shit here in front of Cucho Hernandez. But you go through his history of taking penalties since 2017. He is 10 for 10. And oftentimes, it's 3 steps with real pace to the goalkeeper's left. But he is 10 for 10 since 2017.
Perfect this year from the spot. Against Maxime Crépeau, it's Cucho Hernandez. Cucho scores and sends the Crew Open MLS Cup at home, 1-0.
At some point, when you put enough pressure on the opposition, things are going to go your way. And I think this penalty call goes your way, because this touch right here, does it touch Palacios in the chest first, then the right arm? VAR says no, sir. But throughout the entire year, Cucho Hernandez, when the bell has rung, he has answered the call. His 24th goal in all competitions in 2023. Columbus Crew have their star, and they have their lead here at home in MLS Cup.
MLS Cup 2023. He approaches and shoots and scores for Columbus!
Not only the first goal of this MLS Cup, the first goal the Columbus Crew have ever scored against LAFC. 3 previous meetings, all won by LAFC, all clean sheets. A shutout streak for LAFC in this postseason ends at 353 minutes. And the all-important first goal of this final match of the 2023 season for Wilfried Nancy and the Columbus Crew. For a team like LAFC, it's playing to sit back and to counter. How damaging is conceding the first goal in this match?
Well, it's going to take you out of your comfort zone, because you got to the MLS Cup final by defending first, playing for the counter. Now, Steve Cherundolo cannot do that. But when speaking with Steve Cherundolo throughout the year and why he had to transform this team, he said 2 reasons why. Chiellini's going to be my center back at 39. I can't play a high line. But 15 times this year, LAFC had 55% possession or more. They lost 10 of those 15 games. Hang on to your seatbelts, because this scoreline is not going to be what the final score will be, because LAFC now has to get out of their comfort zone and put real pressure on Columbus.
The rain begins to fall a little harder here in Columbus. And the onus on LAFC to respond. Hollingshead tried to get it into Vela. It was broken up well by a sliding Aiden Morris. What's that conversation on the LAFC bench?
No, the conversation is we've got to get to halftime. We've got to regroup. The floodgates have opened here with the weather and the rain. The floodgates feel like have opened for Columbus because LAFC now have to be a little bit more expansive. But I think Steve Cherundolo is going to tactically have to make a difference in the shape. And I think that falls on the shoulders of Ilie Sanchez. I think Ilie Sanchez has to force it a little bit higher up the field, allow Tillman and Acosta to be somewhat of an impact in possession. The midfield of LAFC, non-existent.
Giveaway from Hollingshead. Rossi. The same from Columbus. What a ball! Yeboah! Thrilling! Exhilarating! It's the Columbus Crew at their best! 2-0!
When every single player on the field is comfortable with their ball at their feet, you can play wingbacks as center backs. You can play midfielders as wingers. Amundson's a left back, but Wilfried Nancy said, no, he's not. He's my left center back in the 3. Palacios and Chiellini too slow to realize that they're keeping on Yeboah. Ryan Hollingshead chasing shadows, chasing yellow jerseys, because it has been Columbus Crew from the opening whistle. It's bold, it's brash, it's beautiful. 2-0 here in Columbus as the Crew put on a show.
A match that began with the former heavyweight champion of the world, Columbus native Buster Douglas, delivering the Philip F. Anschutz Trophy onto this pitch, has seen the team from Columbus deliver a knockdown blow to LAFC before halftime. Can the reigning champs get up and respond? What a half from the Columbus Crew. Bouanga cutting inside, Farsi tracking back to take it away. It was rather Oliveira.
If you think this one's over, you haven't been paying attention all of 2023. Because the Columbus Crew under Wilfried Nancy, it's 90 minutes their way or the highway.
And they were a first-half team in the regular season. A plus 22 first-half goal differential this year. A -1 second-half goal differential this year. If you're LAFC, you're taking a little bit of solace in that fact, but you've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, but you've got to show up at some point.
Yeah.
You've got to have an imprint on the game. You've got more experience than anyone in Columbus all on the field. At some point, you've got to show that experience, get into the game, because you've been non-existent for the entire first half.
Oliveira has switched sides with Bouanga, now on the left. Gets the cross in. This is Ilie. Now Hollingshead. Well wide.
It's all about angles, and when you play a ton of short passes, the opposition get caught flat-footed a little bit. Love this possession, rotate, move players around, but it's the third-line ball from Amundsen that is exquisite. He's brought a real experience into this team after winning MLS Cup in 2021 with New York City FC. But Wilfried Nancy saw players and said, if I tweak their positions, Maxime Crepeau tonight will be taking the ball out of the back of his net more than once.
Amundsen is a left back by trade, more of a left wing back type player. On the other side, Steven Moreira, he's a right back by trade. Yao Yeboah, he's an attacking player playing at left wing back. That is Wilfried Nancy to a T. He is dogmatic, he is confident in his ideas and his principles, He has passed them on to this team. They have bought in. And they are 5 minutes away from a commanding 2-0 lead at halftime of MLS Cup. Farsi again coming back to take it away from behind.
LAFC scored 85 goals in 2019. Columbus have scored 82 in 2023.
That number might increase as well over the next hour.
It's understated. Too often at times, around the world, global football has turned into how can you squeeze so much out of players using athleticism, using counter-pressing, using the ability to absorb pressure. Columbus is the other way. Pressure's going to be our way. We want the ball on the ground. We want the ball at our feet. We're going to put real pressure on you because we're going for it every single time.
It's all about being uncomfortable. They use that word so frequently. Wilfried Nancy does, his players do. Wilfried Nancy wants his players to force themselves to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you also have to allow players to make mistakes. You have to allow players to grow into it. Darlington Nagbe talked about it. Patrick Schulte made mistakes early on in his career, and Wilfried Nancy was his first cheerleader. Cucho Hernandez playing wide left. To be bold and brash and to be aggressive, you got to make mistakes. You got to allow players to learn. That's the sign not only of a good manager, but a really good teacher, no matter what you're doing in life, is learning from your failures and growing from them. Columbus have done so in 2023.
You mentioned Patrick Schulte, Columbus's 22-year-old goalkeeper on the ball right now. It was a mistake in last year's MLS Next Pro Cup that showed Wilfried Nancy that Patrick Schulte at this young age could be his starter. Try to move, he lost the ball. And that, ironically, maybe not intuitively, was the moment that Wilfried Nancy said, yeah, this guy can do it for us. He won the starting job this year. He has not looked back since. But it is Columbus that have put their opponents, LAFC, in the uncomfortable position of trailing 2-0 in this MLS Cup. But Wanga tried to get it through the legs of Amundsen, who broke it up. Now Nagbe. Costa gets a handball off of Morris, who disagrees with the call.
Well, Steve Cherundolo and his staff have been sitting down looking at the book, and it makes you wonder if Aaron Long comes on, do you go to a 3-4-3? Why do I say that? At times when you're struggling in the game and understanding spacing and feeling like you're overwhelmed by chasing the opposition, sometimes the best move is to say, just go man-to-man. Because they don't have a 9 coming off the bench that's been good enough in key moments. He's got to find a way at halftime to get this group back into it.
Bella, Chiellini, and across, but make its way to Hollingshead, cleared by Nagbe. Acosta was ambitious. Murillo's header is easy for Patrick Schulte. Cucho off and running. Schulte, quick distribution. Is Cucho going to get on the end of this? Bella back defending, gives up a corner for Columbus in the final minute before first half stoppage time. They are relentless, the Columbus crew.
Up 2-0 in the 45th minute. Hold your horses, relax. No, sir. No chance. Patrick Schulte with a dime over 75 yards into the run of Cucho Hernandez. Great recognition from Carlos Vela. But the 18,000 plus in this building wearing yellow for the Columbus crew, they have been entertained in this first half.
A minimum 3 minutes of added time in this first half. Rossi running. Another corner kick for Columbus. Fifth corner kick of this first half for the Crew. Short to Matan. Acosta fouls Nagbe. You brought up the possibility of Aaron Long coming on. Maybe switching to a 3-4-3. Who comes off if you're LAFC?
It's going to be one in the midfield, 100%. And that becomes the interesting tactical part. I think you keep Acosta and Ilie in there and maybe take off Tillman. Bogusz maybe can come into this. Aaron Long was the biggest free agent signing going into 2023, but it tells you in the biggest games, it's been Chiellini and Murillo. But I just wonder if Steve Cherundolo looks at it and says, wait a minute, if I tell my group, win your man-to-man situation and get into this game, we've got a chance. The Columbus Crew dropped 22 points from winning positions in MLS this year. That's second most. This one is far from over.
Chiellini over to Hollingshead. Maybe one more push forward for LAFC before halftime. Bouanga does well to get away from Yeboah, then cuts inside. Still Bouanga. Over to Palacios. Through for Oliveira. Oliveira into the middle. Off Camacho and just wide. LAFC will take a corner that will likely be the final moment of this first half.
They scored more goals than anyone in MLS off of corners. Columbus struggle in these moments. It was the first thing Wilfried Nancy told me before this game. We've got to be good in set-piece defending situations.
They've already scored 4 in 4 games in the postseason off corners. This is Vela. Not clear yet by Columbus. Bouanga trying to turn, and the halftime whistle from Armando Villarreal. The defending champs on the ropes. Cucho Hernandez and the Columbus Crew. A penalty and a phenomenal goal from Yeboah. The Crew lead 2-0. Their manager, Wilfried Nancy, is live with Katie Witham.
What did Columbus do well from your perspective here in the first half, and do you need to see anything change in the second?
We are aggressive defensively and also composed with the ball. This is what I like. Now we have to be good also to control the rhythm of the game, because the game's going to be a little bit crazy if we don't slow down the tempo. So we need to slow down to speed up the play, but we need to be also really good tactically to respect the position, because we have a tendency to move a little bit more and we can lose the time edge. But I like the idea about what we do for the moment.
Appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Wilfried Nancy's Columbus Crew are 45 minutes away from a third MLS Cup at home at Lower.com Field, but the defending champs will have something to say in the second half. We'll be back from Columbus.
Hey, how are you?
I made this. Fee-free overdrafts, early payday, easy credit building. When your money's good, you feel good. Don't be afraid to catch fish. Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
Committed to filling the trades gap.
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I danced myself right out the womb.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
Back here in Columbus, this is the halftime report presented by Audi. During the playoffs, we've gotten used to Columbus supplying plenty of late-game drama. Tonight, they strike early, they strike twice, and they lead LAFC, the defending champs, 2-0 as we get set for the second half. We're here in Columbus. Lee McHugh, Bradley Wright, Phillips, Sasha Kleshton, Kalen, Kyle. I think we're all taken aback a little bit by what we saw. Catch your breath. We'll get to the highlights, and then we'll talk about things going forward right now. Highlights of the first half here, Columbus Crew, their style, their possession on complete display here tonight early on.
Columbus Crew were dominant. I have one word to say, and it's dominant. This was the moment of the half. The handball from Palacios, there's not much he can complain about. His arm is in an unnatural position, and the striker, the main man, Cucho Hernandez, steps up and buries it.
So 1-0 at this point, and it's more from Columbus, just controlling the tempo and the rhythm of this game.
And let me tell you something, Liam. When your left centre-back can do a defence-splitting pass like this, taking nothing away from the finish. Yayobo, great touch, great finish, but Sasha, the pass.
The pass is unbelievable, Brian. One of the best assists we've ever seen in MLS Cup history. From your left centre-back, controlling the game, Columbus Crew. Wilfred Nancy should be ecstatic right now with this team.
Taking a look at the match stats in the first 45 minutes, Columbus Crew right now with possession 69%. Tactically for the Columbus Crew in the midfield, though, Rossi, Matan, Morris, and Darlington Nagbe are playing almost a box midfield in possession. So if you're LAFC going into the locker room at 45, what do you need to change tactically in order to deal with the overload that they're creating?
They need to switch to a 3-4-3 for me. Bring on another center back, Aaron Long. Chiellini drop into that middle spot where he can read the game. Then you just go man-to-man. You match things up and make things simple for LAFC. You need to step up high. You need to win the ball high. You have Aaron Long and Murillo who can be aggressive, who can step to Rossi and Matan. But we heard Wilfred Nancy say we need to control the game with the ball, and he said the words time edge. What he means by that is having more time than the other team when they can step up. LAFC is always too late to step, so Columbus always has a little extra time. LAFC needs to cut that time edge to give Columbus less time on the ball and create turnovers.
I did notice later in the half, a big change for me was Denny Bouanga going to the right side. He got no change from the left from Steven Moreira. Steven Moreira's been excellent, but it took Denny Bouanga too long. If he swapped sides a little bit earlier, I think LAFC could have found more joy in that game because Yao Yeboah down the left is doing what he wants. It would keep him honest.
And we saw in the 47th minute or so LAFC's best attack. When Bouanga picks up a ball on the right side, the little nutmeg on Yeboah, and he creates the space down the left side.
All right, gets over the second half. I think you've got Audi goals for us.
Oh, I do. The top scorers for each. Thanks, Liam. This is why you have my back all the time.
Well, it's not in front of me. I don't read it.
Presented by Audi, the official vehicle for Major League Soccer. For every goal scored during MLS Cup, Audi will contribute $2,000 to support MLS academies through Goals to Drive Progress initiative. Stick around. We got much more coming right up. The first 45 minutes in the books. The Columbus Crew, a dominating performance from start to finish. Currently 2-0 over LAFC. Can Denny Bouanga and the reigning champs come back in the second 45 minutes?
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, cash or card?
For water?
Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out, made with titanium.
We do have free movies with the purchase of headphones.
I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
Travis, did you know you can get this season's COVID-19 shot when you get your flu shot?
Two things at once.
Two things at once! Two things at once!
I'll have two things at once, please.
Now back to two things at once.
Two things at once.
That's not two things at once.
Mom!
Travis, ask about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
And welcome back to Columbus, getting set for the second half. Let's now go on the field for the presentation of the inaugural Audi Goals Drive Progress Impact Award. Here's Andrew Wiebe with Alejandro Bedoya.
Alejandro Bedoya, recognized for his efforts to help drive positive change in the Philadelphia community.
Today, we congratulate Philadelphia Union midfielder Alejandro Bedoya, our 2023 Audi Goals Drive Progress Impact Award winner for his continued work to reduce gun violence, achieve health equity, and to ensure government programs prioritize inclusivity. Joining Alejandro tonight, we would like to recognize his selected nonprofit, the Philadelphia Equity Alliance, and gift them with a $100,000 contribution via the Audi Goals Drive Progress Fund. Thank you for your commitment to progress and making an impact in your community. Let's give a big round of applause for Alejandro and the Philadelphia Equity Alliance.
And to learn more about Alejandro Bedoya's efforts and that of other MLS leaders driving progress in their communities, you can visit MLSsoccer.com/Audi. All right, let's look ahead right now, second half.
Tactically, LAFC going to have to make some changes at 45 inside that locker room. Personnel-wise for the Columbus Crew, you look at the bench in which they have. You have someone like a Christian Ramirez, a Julian Gressel. At what point do you bring them on the pitch to maybe put this game to bed, or do you keep them for later on around the 80th minute?
I look at this game and we know Wilfred Nancy. It's a philosophy over everything for him. I don't think he's in a rush to change this lineup. He wants to keep building some momentum, keeping the game on his terms. If he brings on a Christian Ramirez too early, it just turns into goals. The style of play will get him the chances.
Yeah, I agree with Bradley there. I don't see any reason to make changes. They were dominant. Yeah. Columbus Crew was dominant, and he talked about that time edge, controlling the game with possession. He's got all his best players on the field pretty much right now that are putting in the work and aggressive defensively as well. No reason to make a change right now. As the game unfolds, things will happen.
Jacob Taylor said that Columbus scored the knockdown. The defending champs, you picked them. Are they knocked out at this point?
Down but not out. Listen, Columbus was down 2-0 last week, and they showed a lot of fight and a lot of passion to get back in this game. LAFC has to show that, because for 45 minutes they've been very flat.
We've just seen Carlos Vela make an 80-yard doggy to retrieve the ball inside his own 18-yard box. So I don't think they're maybe a little bit down, but definitely not out of this one. So stay tuned. We got much more coming up on the break. Cucho Hernandez picking up right where he left off in the regular season and also in the postseason. The man just cannot be stopped. Stepping up from the spot shot, making this one 2-0 in favor of the Columbus Crew. A big task for LAFC coming up next, just around the corner with our very own Jake Zivin and Taylor Twellman.
Finding the right hotel just got easier. Compare and book on the app with Hotels.com.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron.
If working hard is essential to get where you want to be, you need something that gets you going and keeps you going on the path to your true potential. You need a spotter, a running mate, a loyal companion. You need Celsius. Every drop is essential. Celsius, essential energy.
Welcome back to Lower.com Field in Columbus, Ohio. The 2023 MLS Cup has the home team, the Columbus Crew, up 2-0 entering the second half. This is the Supporter Cam brought to you by Hotels.com. Find your perfect somewhere on the Hotels.com app. A tifo from the one and only, they say, the original black and gold, the original MLS club, and they put a number on the current or the newest black and gold. 2 goals, both in front of the Nordeca, and the Columbus Crew have a 2-0 lead over the defending champs LAFC. So what can LAFC do? We'll find out from their manager, Steve Cherundolo, who's with Katie with them right now.
Coach, what was the message inside the locker room, and what has to change from your side here in the second?
Well, a lot needs to change. I think we need to assert a little more pressure in the ball, get out of the back. We're sagging too far back. When we do have the ball, we need to be a little brighter and take care of the ball and start putting Columbus a little under pressure. I think they played an excellent first half, but we were pretty poor, so we're going to give them a run for their money in the second half.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Can Carlos Vela and LAFC find a way back into this match? The defending MLS Cup champs, they did come back last year at home at BMO Stadium. This will be a different task against Patrick Schulte and the Columbus Crew. The second half of MLS Cup is underway. The Crew leading LAFC 2-0. Cucho Hernandez from the penalty spot, and a wonderful goal from Yao Yeboah, assisted by Malte Amundsen. The difference at halftime. Taylor, what do you make of what Steve Cherundolo told Katie?
Well, I'm going to find out in the first 5 minutes of whether or not they're going to give them a run for their money. The one thing I want to see from LAFC is the back three of Columbus cannot have their way with the ball at their feet. So the front three of LAFC be on the front foot, push forward, make life uncomfortable for Columbus instead of allowing them to get into rhythm, get into spaces, and force your back line to chase players all over the field.
Hollingham's head stepping forward for LAFC and then sending it into touch.
But he also said the right part. When you do have the ball, you got to stop giving it away.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the poor first halves of any half I've ever seen LAFC play in franchise history.
Columbus were all over them. How do they deal with that? Is it just playing quicker?
I think it's playing quicker, but also having a purpose. And the purpose is now you're down 2 goals. You got to throw caution to the wind.
Meanwhile, if you're Wilfried Nancy, we know you're not going to change. He will never compromise. Is there a point, though, in a final where you do try to lock it in and win the game?
Ask me that question in the 65th minute.
We're not there yet.
And I think Columbus got to stay with what you're doing. You get the 3rd goal, you put this game away.
Maybe it's here. Cucho running at Chiellini. Cucho right at Crepeau, who punches it away. Again, Columbus win the ball back. It was Morris. Cucho in. Tillman before Rossi able to intervene. Time and time again tonight. The Columbus Crew with their repress, their counter press, winning the ball back.
Absolutely. Here's the first shot from Cucho. Maxime Crepeau doing anything he can because the ball's knuckling. But it's that rebound. Look at the reaction immediately on the front foot from Aiden Morris. Too slow from Kellen Acosta in that moment. That is where Columbus is misunderstood and miscalculated. They are one of the best in the league at that moment, counter-pressing and then turning you over and getting an opportunity.
LAFC has not been able to deal with that pressure tonight. Carlos Vela sends the center backs forward for this set piece. An area of vulnerability throughout the season for Columbus, an area of strength throughout the season for LAFC. Vela towards Hollingshead. Murillo flicking it in. Tillman chesting it down. Columbus getting it clear. Cucho off and running. Oh, a touch around Vela. Cucho is down. Armando Villarreal playing advantage for the Crew. Yeboah cutting inside and then cutting back. Yeboah, can he do it again? Clipping it. Oh, Palacios. An important header because Rossi was on the doorstep. And a decision for Armando Villarreal, a yellow card to Carlos Vela for the tackle on Cucho Hernandez.
Well, Carlos Vela's lucky here because he comes in, studs up, but Cucho Hernandez jumps out of the way a little bit, and it's the trailing leg, which is why VAR is not going to get involved and look at a possible red. But immediately, Columbus, the ability to break you down dynamically all over the field. Crepeau, the little touch. Palacios with the deflection. A lifeline for LAFC. What a play from Yeboah to deliver that ball in. That is big time from Diego Palacios.
As Yao Yeboah stepped up, scored his first ever playoff goal in the first half. So close to creating another for the Columbus Crew. Rossi will take the corner. Rio the header away. Nagbe. Rossi. Clipping it towards Camacho. Chiellini there to head it away. Only as far as Morris. Over towards Matan. Hollingshead is able to see it out. Composed from Murillo, who is still under pressure from Diego Rossi.
It tells you how the game's gone for LAFC when the hardest challenges come from Carlos Vela.
Yeah. They haven't been close to Columbus in most instances tonight. Camacho, Oliver Vela, Palacios in, awkward from Amundsen. Able to deal with it.
They almost felt like, Jake, they came into this with over 300 minutes of that score, you know, keeping the shutout streak and all that, and they almost wanted to say, we're going to grow into the game, and Columbus is like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
It's going to be impossible to grow in the game. So now all of a sudden, LAFC, deer in headlights, what do they look like in the second half? Too much of the same from Columbus that we saw in the first half.
Yeah, it does look the same. Here is Cucho. Delicate touch. Murillo, two-handed shove away and out for a goal kick.
It's been that kind of night for Murillo, just chasing Cucho Hernandez all over the field.
We described LAFC trying to grow into the game. Is that a naive approach against Columbus? Here they come. Heavy touch from Oliveira. And the couple windows that LAFC has had tonight, they haven't been clean.
No, but there has been half chances right before the final whistle of the halftime. How about that little touch from Oliveira where he had Kellen Acosta on? They've had two half chances with a little bit of a better ball. They're into this game.
And Vela when it was still scoreless at the top of the box. Rossi is followed by Acosta. This time to Timothy Tillman. Persistent infringement, says Armando Villarreal.
Darlington Nagbe, one of the best players in this league, where he just can be so deceiving in making you think when you're defending him, you've got him covered, and yet it's a little shift, technically so clean. If I had a son, I would have him watch Darlington Nagbe for the technique, because it's not flicks and tricks, it's simple.
They're behind again. Cucho tried to find Rossi. Off Murillo, another corner for Columbus.
And sometimes simple is the most effective way around the world. Think of the midfielders that we've seen, the Steven Gerrards, the Frank Lampards. Those were like, there's no flicks and tricks, step overs and highlight reels, but it's simple, it's effective. I think Darlington Nagbe could have played in La Liga on any given day.
The praise from his teammates is unending. Diego Valeri is on the call right now in Spanish on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Our colleague, now former teammate of Darlington's in Portland, penned a wonderful ode to Darlington earlier this week. He said, if I have a grandchild, I will tell that grandchild I played with Darlington Nagbe. Nagbe goes over to Aiden Morris. Morris trying to curl it. That's easy for Maxime Crépeau. Direct towards Bouanga. Bouanga does well to bring this down in traffic. Oh, and then find Oliveira. The flag down for now. What a tackle. Malte Amundsen. Schulte hops on it. The flag goes up eventually.
Amundsen may have scored the goal of his life in this MLS Cup playoffs this year against Atlanta United, but I think he's having the game of his life tonight. The assist to Yeboah, but just the recognition in defensive transition moments. Oliveira in an offside position. Still, doesn't matter. Recognizing that he's got to make that last-ditch tackle. Amundsen's been fantastic tonight for the Columbus Crew.
It was his ball to Yao Yeboah in the 37th minute. That sent the Columbus Crew up 2-0 in the halftime of this MLS Cup. Columbus thought that went off of LAFC. They're given the throw. Giorgio Chiellini, his 18th Cup final. Can he and LAFC find a way back, or will it be the Columbus Crew on the front foot from the opening whistle? Given away by Oliveira. Oh, Nagby gets it out from underneath his feet. Now this is Cucho. Murillo defending, does enough.
Oh my word, just so sloppy from LAFC.
Story of the game, Morris trying to find Rossi Chiellini, the tackle. Oliveira, direct. Camacho, that was awkward, that was poor. Vela on the right, saved by Schulte. The most difficult moment for the Crew's goalkeeper tonight.
Yeah, but this is the pedigree of the Columbus Crew. Their back three aren't really comfortable defending when it's right down their throat. FC Cincinnati did that very well last week, but they weren't good with the final play. Carlos Vela recognizing the little deflection header from Camacho, but an easy save for Patrick Schulte.
Just the second shot on target tonight for LAFC.
And I came into this saying Carlos Vela is going to have to do something if LAFC want to repeat as MLS Cup champions. Hasn't scored in his last 15 appearances, and on the road, the last goal or assist he had was July 16th.
LAFC has a throw. They just have found no attacking rhythm, LAFC tonight.
I came into this season saying Steve Cherundolo at LAFC, their top 11 is going to be more dynamic and explosive, but they're not going to be as deep as last season. It's exactly what he said. We're more explosive. We lack very little coming off the bench. Columbus Crew have the more dynamic players coming off the bench, but for LAFC, that is where missing on Mario Gonzalez has really hurt this team.
Another awkward challenge. Tillman and Rossi collide. Armando Villarreal surrounded.
It's absolutely a foul. It's arguably reckless, but there's no red card issue whatsoever. And I think Columbus is wondering more why there wasn't a yellow given.
Looked a lot more awkward than dangerous. And the first change of the match is LAFC. The team down 2-0. Timothy Tillman will come off and Mateusz Bogusz will come on. How does this change LAFC?
Well, Bogusz is a little bit more dynamic coming through the middle. Remember, he scored that goal early on in the regular season, right through the middle against Seattle with a little bit of a deflection. He's going to give him a little bit more. The problem is Tillman was on a yellow. That late challenge there, Columbus saying it should have been a second yellow. Almost forced the hand of Cherundolo to get Tillman off the field.
Bogusz to Bouanga. Through the legs of Moreira. And then into the stands from Camacho. A rare moment tonight for LAFC to try to build in possession.
They just look so uncomfortable. It's unlike anything you've seen from LAFC.
Why do you think it is?
They're shell-shocked. They got punched in the face.
It's a good ball from Chiellini into the feet of Vela. And he's fouled and a set piece for LAFC. And a yellow card to Malte Amundsen, the first one to a Crew player today.
Amundsen coming off that back line, feeling like he had the body and positioning between Vela and the ball. You want to be aggressive, but up 2-0. I think Amundsen could have been maybe a little bit more pragmatic with that approach. Allow Vela to play it wide. Yes, it gives LAFC a set piece, but more so, now you've got your center back on a yellow. Oftentimes the target here is not Murillo, it's actually Hollingshead.
It will be Murillo this time. Knocks it in. Bouanga! And over. But a decent chance for the Golden Boot winner.
Well, if you're just tuning in, the scoreline may say one thing, but Columbus looks very nervy defending set pieces. Every single time a ball's played in from LAFC, there's been a half chance. Is it difficult? Yes, absolutely. But Murillo wins this ball and does exactly what he has to do, knock it down. The MLS Golden Boot winner just couldn't get over the top of that with Farsi coming in hard.
The first shot of MLS Cup for Denis Bouanga. How many times tonight have we seen that? Columbus coming back, surprising an LAFC player, and now going the other way. Can Rossi get behind Chiellini? He lets up his run, and Crépeau sends it to midfield. Morris.
He's all over the field.
Yeah, he's a good player, huh?
The technique is one thing, and the ability to facilitate with the ball and play off a Nagbe, but it's his recognition in those counter-pressing moments that he's on point. I think Wilfred Nancy's got him a little bit fitter, but Aiden Morris has had himself a game.
Oliveira. And the offside flag comes up on Christian Oliveira. Let's go down to the pitch. Katie with him. Katie, what are you hearing from LAFC?
It is not quiet in this stadium, Jake, but it is eerily quiet on the sideline. These coaches on both sides, a methodical approach, but just before that free kick, Ante Razov was off his seat for LAFC. He got the attention of Diego Palacios. He said, look for those runs in behind towards that end line, and if it's on, put a ball over the top.
What is that path back for LAFC?
I'm just surprised there hasn't been a change of system.
Yeah.
And I get it, you haven't really done it, but there were times this year, you and I did the games where LAFC talked about playing three in the back and having the ability when they need to chase games to do so. I think you got to release Palacios a little bit more. Remember last year, he's one of the best attacking left backs in the league. Steve Cherundolo had a huge say in that progression. But you got to get Palacios going forward. It helps Bouanga because then you overload the left channel. It's been too reactive versus proactive from LAFC tonight.
Boa trying to get behind again. Touch around Murillo. What a game he's having. Ilie able to get it clear. Just saw the number. 22 points dropped from leading positions this year for the Columbus Crew. The second most in MLS.
Two of the games, they were up 2-0.
Yep.
Now, both of those were against Orlando City. But just speaking with the Columbus Crew owners last night, Dee Haslam, I said, what's your favorite part about it? She goes, it's my favorite. We're entertaining. But I also need to take about 10 tums every second half because who knows what's going to happen.
It's never over with the Columbus Crew, either way. Oliveira draws the foul. Vela, the flick to Bogusz, tries to help it on to Bouanga. Moreira could have been trouble, but Bouanga went through his back.
It wasn't. He was in trouble. Absolutely. And Bouanga knows it. It's absolutely a foul. But Moreira felt the pressure from Bouanga. And I think if Bouanga just keeps his left arm down and holds the ground, I think Moreira would have played this in the path of Bouanga. But right there, that's where the foul happens. But Moreira immediately coming up, grabbing either the left leg or the left ankle.
Limping a bit. It did not need the attention of Columbus's athletic training staff. takes down Rossi.
Columbus only one loss in their last 11, and it was the game in Leagues Cup late July against Club America that convinced Wilfred Nancy they've got a shot at winning the entire thing.
That one loss, by the way, they were up 2 goals against Orlando. It was 3-1. Orlando scored 3 late, including at the very end, to win 4-3. Ilie into the book. 3rd yellow card to an LAFC player tonight.
Almost the 5th time tonight, Nagbe's just been brought down because LAFC's tired of chasing him around with the ball at his feet. But what I'm talking about, a change of system, drop Ilie Sanchez into a 3rd center back, allow Hollingshead and Palacios to play more as wing backs. Bogusz and Acosta hold the ground. It's just, you got to go for it at some point. Because what the system has done in the first half, and quite frankly in 68 minutes, it hasn't been enough.
Ilie has played as a center back before in emergency situations with LAFC for the whole 2021 season, his last one for Sporting Kansas City. Morris does well to turn in the midfield. Villarreal will not let LAFC go as quick as they want it. He's going to make them bring it back and now take it. Bogusz to Bouanga. Bouanga. Moreira does well to defend. Still under pressure from Denis Bouanga and wins a throw.
Well, the thing I was most curious about coming into this game, would there be any little tweaks from Wilfred Nancy knowing that Denis Bouanga is on the other side? And I think Steven Moreira has been perfect in picking the right moments to go forward, but more so just holding his ground. I compared him to Kyle Walker because out and out he's a right back. But this year, Wilfred Nancy said he's similar to Kyle Walker because his pace and recovery, his quality on the ball going forward, he can step into the midfield. But Wilfred Nancy said, no, I want 3 in the back, and I want a right center back that can push the tempo through the middle in overload in possession. He picked the right guy in Steven Moreira.
Tuesday, December 19th, don't miss the MLS Super Draft presented by Adidas. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. on MLS Season Pass. 2 years ago, number 12 overall pick in the first round by the Columbus Crew, Patrick Schulte. Now starting this MLS Cup. Here is Kucha, what a ball towards Rossi. Chiellini got in the way. Clever defending from the veteran as Armando Villarreal tells Rossi to get up. Costa sprays it over to Oliveira. Finally some space for LAFC. Oliveira drives it in. Amundsen the first to it. And composed to carry it forward, but gives it away. Ilie to Bogusz. Chiellini, Palacios. Bouanga to the byline, still Bouanga into the middle, nobody there for LAFC.
It's that quick he can turn the game on his head. How about the recognition here from Farsi to not make a challenge and allow Bouanga to go through because he would have brought him down for a pen. Now both Carlos Vela and Oliveira make the same run. You see Vela here dropping off. If Oliveira makes a run back post, it's 2-1. That quickly, Bouanga can break you down. good little decision there from Farsi to not make that challenge, because that would have been a penalty.
That is the danger of LAFC and their stars. They need just a moment. They have not found that moment tonight. And it's the Columbus Crew with 2 first-half goals, still with a 2-0 lead in the 2023 MLS Cup. Through the legs of Ilie. Cucho! Well wide. Palacios coming forward. Bawanga trying to test Patrick Schulte. It's right at the Columbus Crew goalkeeper.
I said earlier, LAFC missed on Mario Gonzalez, didn't I?
Yep.
The 3 subs coming in, Krastov, Ordaz, and Palencia.
Tells you something, doesn't it? What does it tell you?
It tells you that LAFC season rested so much on that signing and his ability to score goals. And Steve Cherundolo on that staff gave him a ton of opportunities. He just didn't take them.
But Rio's going to continue forward. This is Bawanga! Oh, Patrick Schulte saved the initial and then in! Bawanga pulls LAFC back into the game! Schulte remains down. It's a record-tying 38th goal, all competitions of the season for the Golden Boot winner, Denis Bawanga. Game on in Columbus.
You've got to throw caution to the wind. Center back Jesus Murillo makes this play completely by stepping in and winning this ball for Rossi. Now you've got players in good spots. Bawanga's first opportunity, you're thinking, no way. Patrick Schulte again? But it's on the front foot, reacting immediately in 38 times this year for LAFC. Denis Bawanga has put the ball in the back of the net. It is game on here in Columbus.
Bawanga matches his teammate Carlos Vela as you see a look at the LAFC watch party at BMO Stadium in Los Angeles. They feel hope now, thanks to the Golden Boot winner, Denis Bawanga. And Patrick Schulte remains down. He made that initial save with his face and stayed down immediately. And the Columbus Crew athletic training staff and the venue's medical doctor checking on Patrick Schulte right now.
I mean, it's a big-time save from Patrick Schulte. He's been massive in this playoffs. Against Orlando City in extra time, having not made a single save in the first 90 minutes, but then against FC Cincinnati, Aaron Bupenza having nightmares of Patrick Schulte, and that save he made to keep the game at 2-0 Cincinnati and to give Columbus life. Not only is it 2-1, but if Patrick Schulte cannot continue for a team that loses leads, real nervy moments for the final 20 minutes of this one.
Evan Bush is the goalkeeper on the bench for the Columbus Crew in his 12th MLS season, a veteran, the 37-year-old. If Patrick Schulte cannot continue. After that goal, LAFC made just one change. Philip Krastev on for Kellen Acosta. They were preparing to make 3. Nathan Ordaz and Sergi Palencia were with Krastev in front of the 4th official as the goal was scored. Steve Cherundolo chooses to pull back 2 of those changes and only bring on Krastev as they continue to check on Patrick Schulte. There's the 22-year-old Bulgarian Philip Krastev, a summer signing for LAFC. Played just 9 games in the regular season. This is his first appearance in the postseason.
In the Eastern Conference Finals, the 75th minute, Columbus scored their first goal.
Yes, it was.
What'd I tell you in the open? Put your seatbelts on. This is going to be one hell of a round.
It's never over with the Columbus Crew or LAFC. Patrick Schulte is going to continue. And he's trying to get this record crowd at Lower.com Field back on their feet. But will the Crew be rattled by LAFC's first blow of this heavyweight fight? Denny Bouanga pulls one back for LAFC. It is 2-1. Here we go in the 2023 MLS Cup. Nagbe driving forward. Rossi. Again, a rare miscue from Darlington Nagbe. Bouanga into space. Good ball from Vela. Oliveira was there, and Bouanga got it wrong. Wilfred Nancy continues to tell his players to calm down. You can see him a moment ago on the bottom of your screen gesturing. Calm down, you see it there. It's a good ball to find Rossi. Play continues. Advantage for Columbus. Rossi into Cucho. Cucho! That was a chance for Cucho Hernandez. They took a deflection, says Armando Villarreal. Giorgio Chiellini and Jesus Murillo disagree, but it will be a corner for the Crew.
Oh, and Cucho Hernandez times this run perfectly. He's frustrated with himself because he gets that glimmer of little bit break where you can hit a back post. This is a great spot from the assistant referee. Murillo actually touches this ball and goes out for a corner.
Again, they go short to Matan. Morris. Krastev all over Morris. Nagbe steps around Bouanga, draws a foul. The 6th foul drawn by Darlington Nagbe in this MLS Cup. Morris tried to find Yeboah. He goes down. Columbus asking questions of Armando Villarreal. Play continues. Cucho. Bouanga now for LAFC. Big switch towards Vela. Amundsen there, but he gives it to LAFC. Hollingshead forward. Vela drives it in. Schulte will catch. Yeboah had remained down. So Armando Villarreal has stopped play to allow him to be attended to.
Yeah, but watch Murillo. Does he pull down Yeboah inside the box? There's a little bit of a grab there.
Enough for you?
I mean, based on how VAR has gone throughout the entire season around the world and here in Major League Soccer, at times you see that one called. However, I feel like in a cup final, that one's not going to go for a second look.
Kevin Stott, the video assistant referee, checked it, as he does every potential match-changing moment. Concluded no clear and obvious error not to give a penalty. But Yeboah does remain down. We're going to have a lot of stoppage time in this 2023 MLS Cup. Little grab there. Not enough, says Kevin Stott, the video assistant referee. Yeboah winces as he's escorted off the pitch. Nordecke was thrilled in the first half with 2 goals from the Columbus Crew. And Denis Bouanga in the 74th minute has maybe brought some nerves to lower.com field. It was Cucho from the penalty spot, Yeboah in the 37th. And then Bouanga. Yeboah back into the match but loses it. Oliveira. Camacho gets it clear.
You know, Darlington Nagbe, after that last challenge, he's been kind of limping around the field. I think Wilfred Nancy's going to take him out of this game.
He is preparing 2 changes. Yevon Shaberko and Sean Zawatsky. There's the first. Shaberko for Yeboah. And the second will be Darlington Nagbe, who is 7 minutes plus stoppage time away from winning a 4th MLS Cup. He will leave this 2023 MLS Cup for Sean Zawatsky.
Shaberko coming in means Amundsen will take Yeboah's position as that left wingback, so to speak, and Zawatsky is going to come in and take Nagbe's position, where at times he's played as a center back, a left back. He's played a variety of positions, but right now, right into the middle of this midfield in the heartbeat of Wilfred Nancy's team.
Big spot for the 23-year-old Sean Zawatsky. He was one of a group of players who started in last year's MLS Next Pro Cup for Columbus Crew 2. They won that match 4-1 here at lower.com field. Patrick Schulte, another. Zawatsky, a 23-year-old homegrown player for the Crew, can draw on that final experience as he comes on to try to help the Crew see out a 3rd MLS Cup. Cucho grabbed by Palacios. Palacios shown yellow.
Just does all the little things extremely well as a 9. You get why Wilfred Nancy calls him the best modern center forward in this league.
Two more changes for Wilfred Nancy. This has been his move off the bench to bring on Christian Ramirez and Julian Gressel. Gressel comes on for Mo Farsi at right wing back, and Christian Ramirez comes on for Cucho Hernandez.
How many coaches at home in the 85th minute in a cup final up 2-1 makes 2 changes to score the 3rd goal versus defending the game out?
Wilfred Nancy will do that. That is him to a T. It was Ramirez and Gressel that came on in the Eastern Conference Final last week in Cincinnati that changed that game. Down 2-0. They won 3-2. Only difference there was Aiden Morris, who came off for Christian Ramirez instead of Cucho Hernandez.
But it's unbelievable. If LAFC find a tying goal, you just took out Cucho Hernandez and Darlington Nagbe.
Yes.
Going into extra time. You talk about rolling the dice.
Will that be a storyline, or will the Crew see this out in regulation?
Well, there's going to be a ton of extra time. Remember the head injury to Patrick Schulte. As Gonzalez and Palencia will come in for LAFC here.
This is the 3rd and final substitution window for Steve Cherundolo tonight, as the rain picks up at lower.com field. Sanchez and Diego Palacios come out for Gonzalez and Palencia. For Palencia, it's a like-to-like with Palacios. For Gonzalez, he's number 9 coming on for defensive midfielder Ilie Sanchez as Steve Cherundolo tries to go for it. Palencia, the 27-year-old, came up at La Masia, Barcelona's famous academy. Matan getting around Hollingshead, who was able to send it back off Matan and win a goal kick. Let's go down to the pitch. Katie with him with more on the changes from Wilfred Nancy and Columbus.
Well, Christian Ramirez and Julian Gressel, these are new roles for these guys, and they're helping each other learn how to evolve and be their best versions of themselves on the field. Christian Ramirez joked, I tricked myself into thinking I'm starting no matter what. It's been an adjustment. We focus on how can we best influence the game.
Matan is onside. Matan towards Rossi. Oh, he mishit it. A chance to put away his former team in MLS Cup. And he sends it out for a goal kick.
But this is why Wilfred Nancy has brought on Gressel and Ramirez. He's going for the 3rd goal. I think Wilfred Nancy believes if they're going to win MLS Cup, they've got to score the 3rd goal. What a wonderful opportunity here as Rossi pulls off Giorgio Chiellini. Matan with the right ball, the right pace. And Rossi fluffs it.
Will Diego Rossi regret that miss? Can LAFC make their former teammate, their first ever goal scorer, pay for that miss? Amundsen is called for the foul. LAFC will send their center backs forward for this set piece. Vela goes on the ground to Krastev. Back to Vela. Now he floats it in. Murillo knocks it down. Chiellini was there, but Schulte first to it, and the offside flag comes up anyway.
Love the set piece here from LAFC. Ball whipped in, played back across the grain. Chiellini's in an offside position. Watching Chiellini giving Schulte an earful. Chiellini could be his dad.
He could. He's 17 years older than Patrick Schulte. 22-year-old Patrick Schulte, 39-year-old Giorgio Chiellini. What a career Giorgio Chiellini has had, one of the best defenders in the history of this game.
25 trophies, and this is his 18th Cup final. But Wilfred Nancy's bringing on Kevin Molino. Kevin Molino played 50 minutes in the regular season, yet he's had 2 key assists in the playoffs. Yellow card was given to Diego Rossi, but as Molino was coming on, Wilfred Nancy was screaming to Christian Ramirez to make sure that they go to 4 in the back. Amundsen's the left back, Shaberko, Camacho's the 2 center backs, and Moreira's playing as a right back.
There will be a minimum 7 minutes of added time in the 2023 MLS Cup. Columbus lead 2-1. Molino, the final change of the night for the crew. It's their 5th. Ramirez tugged down by Palencia. The crew can take their time on this restart. just sends it forward. Anywhere will do for the Columbus Crew in stoppage time. Fernanzi still wants them to be aggressive and pressure Crépeau. Crépeau sends it forward. Oh, Gressel misplayed it. Oliveira couldn't take advantage. Amundsen into space. The flag is down for now for Ramirez. Ramirez to ice MLS Cup. Took too long. Murillo came back. Molino goes down as well. Armando Villarreal says no penalty. Rastev. Productive run forward. Yellow card shown.
Well, the Columbus Crew fans and the Columbus Crew players are upset that there wasn't a foul called on Christian Ramirez as he cut across both Chiellini and Murillo, but Christian Ramirez is outside the 18. So because it's not in a penalty kick situation, VAR cannot go in there and overturn it. They then felt that Palencia brought down Molino. Not enough there for me. It is a game of inches, and LAFC still alive.
Again to the back post. Vela floats it. It's a goal kick. Aiden Morris was the Columbus player shown yellow a moment ago for delaying the restart. Over 1,000 of the 3,252 LAFC supporters traveled from Southern California to Columbus for this match. Steve Cherundolo, 4 minutes away from coming up short in a potential back-to-back MLS Cup winning situation. Patrick Schulte, 3.5 minutes away from becoming the youngest goalkeeper to win an MLS Cup. Can the Crew hang on? Or can LAFC keep their repeat hopes alive?
If I'm LAFC, I'm pushing Murillo further up the field. Columbus has struggled with him in the air, playing direct, looking for second balls.
I mean, it's desperation time.
Absolutely.
This is it.
But they've been dominant in the air with Jesus Murillo. Why not?
If there is a team that will have faith until the end, it would be LAFC. Last year, MLS Cup, Gareth Bale at the very, very death, sending it to penalties. Is there a similarly heroic moment for LAFC in 2023? Oh, what a turn from Bouanga. Still Denis Bouanga. Blocked by Columbus. Bouanga trying to see it out, and he does. I don't know if he did. It looked like he touched it before it went out of play. They're giving LAFC the throw. Columbus does so well to keep that from being a corner. LAFC win it back. Here is Bogusz. Shot was blocked and then cleared by Gressel. Crépeau sends it forward. Bouanga broke it up. A minimum 1 minute left. Columbus can kill it with a third. Ramirez. Armando Villarreal plays it back. Now this is un-Columbus-like. But Christian Ramirez will go to the corner to try. LAFC out MLS Cup. And he wins the corner. They can feel it. 20,802 in Lower.com field today. A venue record. And seconds away from a third MLS Cup for the Columbus Crew. Here come LAFC. Last chance for the defending champs. Hollingshead. It's over. The Columbus Crew, 2023 MLS Cup champions! Full to the end. Wilfred Nancy brought a vision to Columbus. He got the crew to buy in, and that vision, that style brings Columbus Cup. It was dominant from the opening whistle. Maybe a nervy moment when Denis Bouanga pulled one back for LAFC. But Taylor, fair to say, deserving champions. LAFC and an embrace from a legend of the game to one maybe just starting his story in Wilfred Nancy, an MLS Cup champion for the first time. A fourth ring for Darlington Nagbe, the 10th player in league history to win 4 MLS Cups.
It's amazing to think 7 years, the city of Columbus didn't know if they would have a franchise anymore. They needed a facelift. They needed new ownership to come in, and they needed a manager to come in here and be brash, bold, and beautiful. None other like the Frenchman, Wilfred Nancy.
Wilfred Nancy is with Katie Witham.
I see you down here, Coach, taking this moment in. How do you describe what this feels like and what this means to you and this group?
They have grown a lot as a player, yes, but as a person, because we started and I told them, guys, impossible is an opinion. Just enjoy it and you're gonna grow. And this is what happened. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You never let LAFC even get into this game. What are you most proud of what you saw your team accomplish today, what are you most proud of them?
We play our way. I'm so proud. Yes, we won. But as a coach, for me, the most important is not about winning. I told them. Today I told them. Because when they were kids, they wanted to win already. The idea is to have a clear vision and create connection with people, but also as a team. And listen.
Go celebrate.
Taylor Lottition, they talk about a process, they talk about a style of play, and players needing to buy in from the beginning and build to the end of the season. It doesn't always happen. Often it doesn't. It did for Wilfried Nancy and the Columbus Crew.
Yeah, but in 2020, this franchise won an MLS Cup.
Yep.
So it wasn't like it needed a massive makeover. It wasn't as if it needed a massive turnover of players. It just needed a little bit of a tweak, but a tweak where it gave this team confidence in recent times. It's amazing to think when you couple that to Columbus, it's 2020 MLS Cup win, 2022 MLS Next Pro win, 2023 MLS Cup win, because he takes his managers, gives them the players and the tools to go for it. For the global viewer, Columbus Crew have spent more money on their players than LAFC. They get rewarded for that tonight. This city's going to be rocking and rolling for the next 48 hours.
For the MVP presentation, Lower.com Field PA announcer Josh Poland.
Please direct your attention to the field for the Audi MVP presentation. Tonight, Audi of America Sports Marketing Lead Adam Perez will award the MLS Cup 2023 Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Audi to Cucho Hernandez. Please welcome Cucho to the stage. Congratulations, Cucho Hernandez, on a great game and for winning the MLS Cup MVP presented by Audi.
Cucho Hernandez's 33rd minute penalty kick opened the scoring for Columbus. 4 minutes later, the Crew made it 2-0. They were all over LAFC from the beginning. This is the moment of the match, presented by J.C. Penney. It was a walking goal for the Columbus Crew.
One of the best passes you'll see all season long, and you often hear breaking lines. And what does that mean? It is breaking and bypassing 6-7 defenders from LAFC with one ball. The left foot of Amundsen, and then the outside of the left foot, the kiss from Yeboah. He and Cucho Hernandez and company will kiss the MLS Cup. What a goal.
It's so appropriate, isn't it, that game-winning goal is a converted outside back playing center back and a converted winger playing wing back for Wilfried Nancy and the Columbus Crew.
Yeah, it's about the principles of how the game is. He doesn't want to put square pegs in round holes. He believes his system allows players to flourish more. So it's more square pegs in square holes that at times can be moved around on the field. You see it time and time again with center backs playing outside back, but the one caveat is Darlington Nagbe. He ain't moving, and nor should he. To win 4 MLS Cups with 3 different teams, the focal point, the heartbeat, the metronome for this Columbus Crew side. When Wilfried Nancy took over, I remember his face the first time I saw him. He said, I've got Darlington Nagbe. I can do anything I want to because I've got him, and I potentially may have the best 9 in this league.
Not the first coach to think that. Julian Gressel, it's his second MLS Cup. Diego Rossi, it's his first, and it's against the team he began his MLS career with. the inaugural goal scorer for LAFC, thrived for 3.5 seasons in Los Angeles. Big move overseas to Fenerbahce in Turkey. Back to Columbus in this summer, and now dancing with his new team as his old team looks on in disappointment. The MLS Cup champions of 2023 are the Columbus Crew. Cell phones out to capture a trophy moment for the Columbus Crew. Not just yet, but we'll be back for the trophy presentation. The Columbus Crew are the 2023 MLS Cup champions.
There are trucks, then there's the truck, GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck. The truck.
Goals aren't just planned for the field. They're planned for life. No more with RBC Wealth Management.
Hi, it's Major League Soccer. No, you're looking for Beckham. I'm Beck. Noah Beck.
All right, team, it's the marketing plan for 2023.
Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late. So I have this great idea. What do we think? Hi, it's Major League Soccer. Oh, hi, Mr. Messi. Yeah, please hold. Yeah, what's up? Hi, it's MLS.
Bienvenida a casa. Welcome.
Bienvenida a casa.
Thanks for every time.
Rápido. Rápido. R con R, ferrocarril. ¿Me entiendes? Recuérdame. Recuérdame. Bienvenida a casa.
Hola, hola. Bienvenida a casa. Diseño a tu,
Miguel, ¿recámara?
Sí.
Venga, we'll speak a lot of Spanish.
Connecting changes everything. AT&T.
Welcome back to Lower.com Field. The Columbus Crew 2-1 winners over LAFC. Now to the president of Audi America, Daniel Weisland, and MLS Commissioner Don Garber.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to crown our 2023 MLS Cup champions. Please direct your attention to the field as president of Audi America, Daniel Weisland, joins MLS Commissioner Don Garber on stage to deliver the 2023 Philip F. Anschutz MLS Cup trophy.
Come in here.
And now, please direct your attention toward the stage as we welcome Andrew Wiebe from Apple TV's Season Pass.
Merry Christmas! It's a Happy New Year in Columbus, and it's my pleasure to present to you the Commissioner of Major League Soccer, Don Garber.
Thank you, Andrew. First, I want to congratulate LAFC on a remarkable season. But tonight belongs to the Columbus Crew. What an incredible season. 2 MLS Cups in 4 seasons, and only the third MLS team to have 3 MLS Cups. D, what a wonderful job. I want to really congratulate Jimmy and the rest of the Columbus Crew ownership for an incredible job. So now it's my pleasure to present the Philip Anschutz Trophy to D. Haslam, from the Columbus Crew will present it to your captain, Darlington Nagbe.
There's some emotion from a normally stoic Darlington Nagbe. Fourth time he'll get to celebrate an MLS Cup.
You just love this moment for this city. The original MLS franchise is now on the map for the second time in 4 years.
They were bold all the way through. Brought in Rudy Camacho, Diego Rossi in the summer. Raised eyebrows by selling the best player on their team, their superstar, Lucas Celerayán. They got it all right, didn't they? The Columbus Crew are champions of Major League Soccer.
What's the favorite thing I say that you love? Scared money don't make money.
That's a good one.
And I love teams and owners and coaches and players that go for it. In the biggest games, at time when the pressure's at the highest, you can be restricted by that pressure. That first half was one of the best first halves we've ever seen in any MLS Cup in the history of this league for 28 years. As Kevin Molino, Steven Moreira may dance on that stage, every single Columbus Crew player will be dancing in the city because Wilfred Nancy gave them the right tune to break a rug.
The celebration will continue throughout the night in Columbus. For the third time, Columbus Crew are Major League Soccer champions. 2-1 the final over LAFC tonight. Well, as we get ready to send it to the desk and we say goodbye for the final time in 2023, we want to acknowledge the hundreds of people that worked so hard to bring you the groundbreaking 2023 Major League Soccer season on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Thank you all for tuning in to this transformative year for the league. For Taylor Twellman, I'm Jake Sivan. Don't go anywhere. Liam, Kalen, Sasha, Bradley, and Katie back on the other side. Columbus Crew, MLS Cup champions.
Ilie can win MLS Cup with this kick.
Game on the line. How do I make the smart choice? I remember what's worked and what hasn't. This goalie knows exactly where I'm going to shoot. He's smart, but hesitant. I'm not, or I'm right, all in.